All right, everybody, I got something really cool. This is the Hell Horse, which is a collaboration between Dirty Haggard Audio and Haunted Labs. So it's a very interesting fuzz and delay combo circuit. So up here you have these two knobs that control the delay mix and delay time. To the left is slower repeats, to the right is faster repeats, and then the mix is how much of that delay signal is mixed in, obviously. And then you have volume, fuzz. They're all pretty self-explanatory, except the tone section, which is really unique. So the shift is like, think of it as like a reverse parametric mid. So a parametric mid, you're boosting how much mid-range and how wide. This is like an inverse of that. So think of it like an HM2 EQ in that there's a boosted bass and treble EQ. And so you're either boosting a bass and treble EQ or cutting them, but it goes in different directions with the tone knob. The tone knob is, and the shift knobs are very interactive. It's a very interesting parametric mid sort of EQ. So I'll flatten out the volume, shift, tone, and gain, and we'll show you what that sounds like. So first, here's my clean tone on my Tele, and then here's the pedal. I have the delay turned off to show just the fuzz first. It's a palm mutable fuzz, and it sounds really good. It's gated, as all Dirty Haggard stuff tends to be. And then we'll kick on a little bit of the delay just to show you. Put both knobs at noon, so it's going to be like pretty short repeats and a bit of mix. So check it out. So pretty fast repeats, a good number of them too. So yeah, you can hear it's definitely gaining. It's pretty controlled. So you can turn down the fuzz and that like kind of decreases the gating. But if you crank it up, it's got more distortion, but also more gating. So it keeps it pretty tight and consistent. But what I'll do now is play with the shift and tone knobs, which are very interactive and very interesting in how they work. I'll show you a couple of my kind of favorite sounds, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So let's go back to where the delay is off, because that can kind of be distracting. But yeah, and I love this art, by the way. It's such a killer job on this, and I like the color scheme of the knobs. So yeah, here's just the fuzz, how it is, basically everything at noon. What I love about this particular fuzz is the way it's voiced. You don't lose any of the critical mid-range that'll help you cut through a mix. When I did my little demo songs for Instagram and stuff, I really noticed how much the mid-range can cut. It's not like it's super present or anything, but it's not so scooped that you're gonna lose definition in a mix. But yeah, so that's my favorite setting. It's like the most extreme version of the boost. It's full-on boost, or yeah, the boosted 2 frequencies, but it's kind of a narrower thing. So it's scooped, but not aggressively. Turn down the fuzz on this setting, and it sounds super cool. So obviously my EMGs are tightening this up just a little bit, but I'm getting like a modern distortion type sounds gated, which is super cool from a fuzz pedal. cool. And then you can kind of invert this a little bit and it gets like kind of a even more of a mid-range smooth thing. And then you could play legato leads and add in some delay. So let's check this out. So what we've got here is like pretty long repeats, the mix up, fuzz up, and then it's like a little more like of a singing sound. So pretty cool. Definitely super sweet. And then you can go really extreme with the two knobs. I wouldn't say this is its best sounding setting, but I can just show you the full potential of what those knobs can do. A little more like of a scoop sound like you'd expect. But yeah, you can boost and play with this a little bit, and obviously it's got delay, which is super cool, and you can play these big doomy held power chords that still retain a lot of definition. Now obviously I like that delay way cranked up. You could dial the opposite way. You have it be more towards like the slap back end of the spectrum by tightening up the speed. So you got like... So pretty cool. You back the fuzz like all the way off. Just a little bit of slap back. So it's got a lot of different interesting drive textures. It's not necessarily the like most mid-heavy gnarly fuzz I've ever heard. It definitely can get some interesting textures, And it's got a really nice tone section that's able to dial in a lot of different character. So I'm going to try this on my Strat and we'll see how that does. Alright, so here's the clean tone on my Strat. Just a real basic clean tone into the Marshall like I always use. And we'll play with the controls on this and see where it takes us. So this is the last setting I use. Might be kind of random on this guitar, but we'll go for it. Oh, that's super fun. Let's crank up the gain a little bit more and add a little more delay and get spacier with it. Super cool. Maybe play a little slide. We'll see how this goes. So some cool kind of synthy textures there, kind of neat. I love it with the delay. It's super cool. Let's turn the delay off, play with my other favorite setting from earlier, and maybe dial back the fuzz just a little bit. It's always silent because it's a Dirty Haggard audio gated fuzz, but super cool. I'm liking this gnarly like rock, garage rock texture it's pulling out of it. It's super neat. I wonder if we can get like just a little bit of like a surfy slap back texture, pretty high thing like that. I love that. It's super fun. So it's like with the Strat, it really opened up kind of an interesting texture. So it's obviously really responsive to pickups and playing technique. And so yeah, let's see if it. So, all in all, it's super fun to play with these two guitars. Just briefly run over it with my bass. I've done a couple little bass videos, but it sounds pretty cool on bass. You can get kind of trippy and experimental with it, or you can use it as just like a straight, really cool, shapeable drive. And now, obviously, my P bass has pretty weak pickups, but I'll throw it in there anyway, and I think you might enjoy it. So check it out. All right, so I've got my cheaper P bass copy, and here's the clean tone on that. It's gonna be, you know, it's pretty mellow and low output. Okay, and so we've got the delay off right now, and we'll just have to play with the different controls and see what it's doing. So yeah, no noise when the fuzz is on, which is really cool. So already really liking that. It's a nice, like, kind of mid-rangey, punchy thing with no hum or buzz. So, mess with the tone knobs a little bit. Here's a different sound. So super neat. Having a lot of fun with that. So outside of like a little bit of weird slapback and then play with the time a little bit. Cool, I like it with that little bit of slapback, almost like a little bit of like reverb without having a bunch of mud. So let's just like totally space it out, add some more gain, and yeah, let's see what this is like. So you can play kind of trippy stuff. So some kind of cool textures there. Maybe drop the gain back down, keep it pretty spaced out. So, super cool, fun textures. Definitely check out dirtyhaggard.com to order yours. 220 bucks, and they are super sweet. It's definitely a really interesting circuit. I feel like it's rare for fuzzes to truly be unique these days, and this is something that's really out there and different, and it has a lot of really cool sounds in it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and definitely check out Dirty Haggard and Haunted Labs for more really cool pedals. Thanks for hanging out.